Hey guys, it's Shane back on WD18, this time doing a roundup of the fans forum, which I'm sure a lot of you guys would have been keeping an eye on last night. This is just a reaction video really to some of that stuff, some of the things that were mentioned in the actual video. So let's get started then with, I think, probably the biggest news of the fans forum, the big news announced by Scott Duxbury, and actually not specifically by Scott, but by the club, was the changing of our badge in the summer of 2020. Massive news, really. I was there last night, and it took quite a lot of people by surprise. There were a few ooh and ahs in the crowd. Quite a bit of shock, really. Not saying that I was expecting to be announced, but kind of coinciding with the club's international vision and everything, and they kind of started the whole night by showing us like a 15-minute presentation or so of where the club's kind of where the club really wants to be. They showed us and it kind of stemmed from this actually. It showed us it was an NBC promo, which I actually do remember seeing at the time for the Watford Spurs game, and it featured two little girls on there, and it was kind of talking about this British girl talking to an American girl, and the American girl saying, you're called the Hornets, but why do you have a heart in your badge or something? And it's kind of stemmed from that really, which I don't know. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that kind of strategy necessarily, but look, listen, I think I'm a business graduate. I get it from a business perspective. I get it from a marketing perspective. I get that we've got a vision to look globally now. I think we're moving into a long period now in the Premier League, and I guess I can understand that from the club's perspective. However, it's an emotional attachment for me, and right now, I think if you were to ask me, I think if the club were to do a poll right now, I think a lot of people would be against the change in badge. The badge we have at the moment, it's the badge I've grown up with, it's the badge I fell in love with. Whenever I see the badge, that's my club, that's my team, and I've always associated it with that. And it's going to be very odd to say goodbye to that badge and to bring in a new one. It was kind of elaborated on slightly more in the second part of the evening when Scott Duxbury came out to do a question and answer along with Javi and Ben Foster, and he basically said it's going to happen in the summer of 2020, so there's no rush. We're happy to consult fans. We're happy for you guys to create designs for us. We'll look at all designs, then we'll make a decision. Something that was reported as well by the club today was that it's going to be entirely down to the fans. If the fans want to do it, if the fans are on board, then they'll go ahead and do it. I wonder if they've just said that because it's a fans forum last night. I think ultimately, I think the club have made up their mind. I think it will happen. I can't see the club announcing something like that and saying, it might not happen. I think it's definitely something that's been set in stone. I think there'll be a lot of fans consultation. So from my perspective, I'm not massively happy about it. I'm not going to lie. There is one design that's going around at the moment, one that I've kind of plugged on my own Twitter page. In hindsight, it does look a lot like Brentford's one, and perhaps Brentford have, I know that Brentford redesigned their badge recently as well, and they've kind of taken the initiative and gone for the B on their badge. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get anything that doesn't look that similar to Brentford's one, but if we do, then fine. I'll be happy with that. But right now, if you were to ask me, I'm probably against a change in the badge. Really, despite all the business, connotations, etc. It's just an emotional thing, and I think that's how a lot of fans feel right now. I look forward to hearing about the developments on that. I look forward to hearing about the news, any kind of upcoming designs as well. So that should be a really interesting thing, and seeing how that develops as well. That should be really good. Moving on to other things that was announced, of course, as we all know now, Adalberto Peñaranda has signed a 5-year deal. All the paperwork's been completed, so he is now ready to play for Watford Football Club. Hallelujah! Thank God. I was wondering that really was one of the big questions going into the night. What on earth is going on with Peñaranda? They announced it on the night, exclusive announcement. It's been done. Looks as if he's actually almost fit to be in the squad for Liverpool as well. I'm not sure he's going to start on Saturday necessarily, but I think it'd be great. It'd be such a boost to see him on the bench if he is there. knowing now that he can play a part. He can play a part in the season. And now ultimately it's time for him, he's been sitting on the sidelines. We've been talking about him for so long now. Now it's time for him to turn up and produce, really. Of course, I'm sure it will take him some time to kind of like bed in. Of course, he's not had proper match experience just yet. So interesting to see how he kind of goes with that. But I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. He's an excited player. I'm gonna put the stats to one side for him for now, and let's just see how well he does on the pitch. Let's see how well he performs. Moving on to other things as well, of course, another bit of news today, and something that some of the national broadcasters have picked up on today. Gracia is signing a new contract. Don't know how long for, but he's going to sign it next week. You could tell Javi was very happy last night at the news. Cracked a few jokes as well about his bonus, potentially getting an increase if we beat Everton. So, listen, from my perspective, I personally would have waited until January to get this kind of thing done, but the fact that we've done it is great. And I really kind of got a sense last night that Javi was really, really up for it. He's so excited to be taking part this season. He's looking forward, I think, to the rest of the campaign, as am I. And yeah, I got a very warm feeling actually from Javi that he's enjoying his time here. Another person I thought who absolutely loves his time here at the club at the moment is Ben Foster. I thought he was fantastic last night. So honest, so down to earth, and a really top lad as well. Answered a lot of the questions with a lot of precision, a lot of humour. You could tell he's the kind of guy that will easily go off into something like punditry afterwards. He's such a confident person. I absolutely loved listening to him last night. In contrast, I thought Daryl Yamat, it was nice. It was nice to hear from Daryl last night, but I thought he was a little bit too shy. I just thought he was a little bit reserved. I'm not sure he really fully understood kind of what the night entailed, really. But it was nice to hear from him anyway, and it was good to get an insight from someone. Of course, he'll be known for, rightfully or wrongfully, slating Newcastle last night as well and calling them deluded and over-ambitious. I think he said. I'm not sure he said the word deluded. I'm pretty sure he said the word over-ambitious. They expect too much or something. So. Can't say I disagree with that, to be honest. Looking at other things as well, some very interesting other points as well. The thoughts on the whole Troy Deeney's cojones as well. Scott Duxbury's put Troy in his place. Sure, this is a conversation that took place behind closed doors as well. His answer to this, in case you haven't seen it, was Troy gave a naive opinion. You have to be respectful, particularly in the Premier League. You're a captain in a brand. You have to portray the club with dignity, respect, and be bigger than that. And ultimately, at the time when this happened, we never could have expected to go on the slump that we did, but we did, and it did have an adverse impact on that, and I think Scott was right to put up Troy on that. At the time, it was funny. At the time, we all praised it. Let's be honest, we all did. But in hindsight, it was a very, very stupid thing for Troy to have done, really, and I'm glad that I'm glad the question was asked, and I'm glad Scott kind of put us right on that, really. Those were some of like the big moments I think of last night. Of course, some very funny moments as well. What's happening with Harry the Hornet as well? Harry is of course staying on. Gareth Evans is still in the mascots. Scott Duxbury called the negotiations with Harry the Hornet one of the most surreal he's ever had. So, for the record, I think Harry the Hornet's fantastic. I think the guy who's currently in the mascot really engages so well with the kids, and he's incredibly entertaining as well. He sits pretty much. He said he's in the rookery in the second half. I see him at the side. They usually play acting and reacting to what's on the pitch. And I think he's a great addition to the club, and I love him. I've always really liked Harry, really. And anyone who gets offended by him really needs to just get a life, to be honest. One thing I'm going to finish with today, and I know I'm going on for a while now. I've done a lot of other reaction to this, but I'm going to end this reaction with this comment here, and it's stuff about the empty seats and the whole stadium expansion. Now, the northwest corner is being developed. It's currently being developed. It's something that can be done throughout the season. Scott said it's not too disruptive. And in the new area, the new northwest corner that's going to be developed, there will be a new lounge and a new supporters bar. They're trying to get the 30,000 capacity up to 30,000. And then the next question after that was kind of we have empty seats at the moment. How on earth are we going to be able to fill 30,000 if you can't fill 21,000 at the moment? Very alarming thing that Scott mentioned was that we have the highest number of no-shows in the Premier League. The highest number, one of the highest numbers. of no-shows in the Premier League, and they simply don't know how to combat this. They've tried different schemes, they've tried different incentive to season ticket holders. Nothing seems to be coming to avail, really, and it's a big worry that we've got one of the highest no-shows. I mean, wow. I mean, personally, does that surprise me? No, it doesn't, because I see so many empty seats. The Elton John stand, the family stand, is relatively empty, and just actually coming off the back of that, Scott Duxbury did say, one thing he did say was that actually a lot of our supporters are families, and families get, if games move for TV, move to midweek or something, then, families have got commitments, family have got other things, school, work, etc., and that's kind of what results in the empty seats. But there's something that's still kind of quite annoying about that, really, and something that does need to be addressed. I'm going to leave that there, though. I've done a lot of other reaction. I'm sure you'll get some more reaction from me over the weekend as well. So I'll see you guys for that.